Good morning.
And I look forward to another beautiful sermon. It's such a gorgeous summer day, and that was glorious piano playing. So we're so blessed. I'm going to start things off today with an original song, and this song is about the idea that we've all gone through some hard times, especially this last year. The entire globe has, and we can all relate to struggles and challenges. But if we just go within and find that place of hope and faith, anything is possible, and anything can turn around at any moment, just like it already is. And that's why we're here together. And it's called Hope Changes Everything. I reached a place, I had enough. I had to wake my soul back up so I could feel more than alive. It's time to heal so I can fly. Hope changes everything. Now I can finally breathe. The weight is off of me. My heart is feeling free. Hope clears away the clouds that block the sunshine out and turns the cold to spring. Hope changes everything. No matter where you come from, no matter what's been said or done, each day is life, a second chance to touch the sky and learn to dance. Hope changes everything. Now I can finally breathe. The weight is off of me. My heart is feeling free. Hope clears away the clouds that block the sunshine out and turns the cold to spring. Hope changes everything. The chains are gone that held me down. I'm feeling strong. There are no bounds. Hope changes everything. Now I can finally breathe. The weight is off of me. My heart is feeling free. Hope clears away the clouds that block the sunshine out and turns the cold to spring. Hope changes everything. Hope changes everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elaine. That was beautiful. Hope changes everything. And thank you, Kelsey, for your beautiful music also. And welcome to everyone. See a couple of new faces, at least two here today. And Pat, if you have some package you would like to give out to let people know a little bit about what Unity is, welcome everybody that's on YouTube or on Facebook also. Thank you for joining us today. Pat is back in the bookstore on Sunday mornings when we open and right after we close the service. And I've had a few people asking more and more about Unity. The new book that came in is not exactly this color. It's a white book, but the name of it is Unity, A Quest for Truth by Eric Butterworth. So I want to let you know that some of these books came in this week and Pat has them in the bookstore. So you might want to check that out just to see if Unity is what is you've been looking for. You know, we've all been looking for something all of our life. The thing we're really looking for is truth, and we're looking for the divine in us. You know, Jesus said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added to you. So this is the time that we're starting to search. Things are happening in the outer world, and not only in the outer world, it's stirring up everything on the inner world. So we're looking for truth. I think everyone is, and the truth will set us free. But I'm not so sure we're finding the truth on the outside all the time. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt that's coming our way. And then I'm sure your mind will say, this is what I believe. But can you try that and see if that's truly what you believe? Or if that's your grandmother's or great grandmother's or your neighbors or your aunts or your uncle's belief system? Go to that place where you can just sit in that stillness and start asking questions. And you don't have to run to a book. You don't have to run to a neighbor. Go to that divine place within you, that place where you can find truth. I believe the truth is within us. If we can just let go of so many things that we're holding on to in our own mind and be willing to listen to the love and the truth and the spirit that resides within us. So for right now, I'd like to open up something else Pat said, Elizabeth, remember to say, we have the daily word in small print, and in, of course, I use the large print of daily word. It's affirmations and positive readings for each day, and there has 2 months in each little magazine. So if you'd like to order that online, or if you'd like to pick it up here in the bookstore, you may do so. But let's just close our eyes for a moment if you feel inclined to do so, and just relax. Just turn loose of all the hustle bustle of this week and this day. For right now, you have made the choice to be right here and right now. Just take a deep breath in, breathing in that life and that light of the divine. And then gently just release, just let it go. Maybe another breath in and out. No place to go, there's nothing to do, but just to be right here, right now, wherever you are. As I share with you a daily word. Let go, let God. I know what is mine to do, and trust all will be well. We each know the things that we need to do if we only trust that all is well. Throughout our life, we've learned there is a time to work, a time to rest, just as there is a time to speak and a time to listen. Remember this truth. If we find ourselves working relentlessly to make something happen, there is a time for us to step back and exercise the faith and patience that is needed to give our efforts time to manifest. Just trust this orderly process and let go and let God. Stop any attempt to control life, to manipulate life. Just know that the divine is the very essence of your life. The divine is the very essence of all life. Believe that your highest good is on its way to you right now. And this makes it easier for you to be patient and to be trusting in the process. Do your part and then relax, knowing the divine is in and through all things. In Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, we read, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own insights this time, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. Dear loving Creator, I come to you right now, just stepping into that place of trust, trusting that each and every one that came here today is looking to you, longing for you, looking for truth, looking for understanding. Your truth, dear God, your truth. That truth that is spoken of that will set us free. That we've all been told in past times. We have raised in someone else's thinking, in someone else's direction. As a little child, we listened. As a little child, we followed. As a little child, we obeyed. And now we're coming to the place that we look around and recognize not everything we've heard was total truth. It's hard to recognize there's deception around us, but yet the light and the dark have always been here. And in commingling, sometimes we've never seen the difference. There was the darkness, and the light came, and the darkness comprehended it not. And the Christ came into this world, came into this planet, and took on flesh to dwell among us, to lead us, to guide us, to teach us, to show us a way that humankind at that time, very few had an idea of how life truly is. I believe we're standing in that same energy today, dear God. We're asking you to lead us and guide us in truth. No one has all the truth at this time, but you have it, dear God. You have it. And you are present right here and right now. You are present in the hearts and the minds of each and every person that's hearing my voice. Even though we may not recognize it, you're there, dear God. You're there for us. You're there to lead us to our highest and best. So I surrender my ego self to right now, asking that it just set aside, that the words that come forth, may they come forth from you. May my ego self not block out or quench your Holy Spirit. May each and every one of us come to that place where we rise in that knowledge and that awareness that there's a power and a presence in us wanting to make itself seen. It is the light that came into this world to shine in those dark places. First of all, shine in the dark places of my heart and my mind and dispel those darknesses that have been within me. That the light will bring me understanding, that your light will bring me wisdom, not only me, but all humanity across this planet. Lead us and guide us, dear God, that we may rise up above those things that we've been stumbling over for eons of time and start walking that straight and that narrow path that will lead to higher dimensions, to higher understanding. I give thanks for this day, dear God, and I surrender it to you. In and through the name and the power of the living Christ that is within us. And so it is, so it is, so it is. This morning, I've had a magnificent time with y'all. There's been a few people that have been asking questions, and I recognize my heart soars when that happens. Not because Elizabeth has the answers. Really, I don't. I don't have the answers to your problems. I don't have the answers to your questions. I may have some knowledge in my own personality of how I think, but I believe that the spirit of truth is in each and every one of us. And that tool is within us. All the gifts of the Spirit, I believe, are tools for us to begin to be using in this outer world. And this week that came to me. I hold back a lot because I'm not one that really wants to be seen. I just now realized when I get up here, how many of you have ever heard me introduce myself? If it is, it's usually an afterthought. I want you to be coming not to see Elizabeth, not to hear Elizabeth, but seeking something more. And I don't want to get in the way of any of that. So I want you to begin to seek the truth wherever you're going. I don't think you have to be in a church to find the truth. You can find it anywhere, but the main place that you're going to find truth is in you. But the thing about it is we have to turn loose of all that we've been holding on to, that we say, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. There are many, is that? Yeah, many paths. There's only one source. So whatever path you choose, whatever's going on in your life, you're walking what you're walking to learn something, to grow. So you can overcome that and become more of who you truly are. The child of God, the child of light. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was spoken into. It's a frequency that went out, and God said, let there be. Let there be what? Let there be light. Let there be light. Everything is a vibrational frequency of the light of God. And as we begin to recognize that, we can turn to that inner light within us. And Jesus came, and people didn't recognize truly who he was, because he came in that dark time. And it's still a dark time even now. We don't truly know the full understanding of who we are and our potential of what we can do. But there was a teacher. The title of the lesson I think I chose this week is something about the teacher of teachers. The teacher of teachers. And I believe Jesus, the living Christ, is that teacher of teachers. There's many masters. He's not the only master. What is the master? The master is a master not over people. The true master is the master of one's own self. And Jesus obtained mastership as he walked this planet, which I believe is a schoolroom for the pathways to mastership. So we're still in that process of growing. And number one, what's coming up, I see a number one, is even at this day and this time, a lot of people don't understand who Jesus was. They don't understand who the I am is, or the Christ presence, who God is, what God is. When the Christians took on that following of Jesus Christ and called themselves Christians, they were actually saying, I'm Christ-like. I'm like Jesus in some form or fashion. That's what they were saying. But Jesus came as a man, as a babe. This is not most of our upbringing when I'm talking about this, but I just, for some reason, it's like tapping me on the shoulder. Begin to make the truth that Jesus came in to teach us and to show us the way. Begin to put it out there. There are many people that want to follow the teachings of Jesus. Many people, even when I was a little girl, I want to be like Jesus. I knew that. Didn't really know what it meant, but I want to be like him. Millions of people may say that, or they want to be like Krishna or Buddha or Mohammed or whoever. We want to reach that higher place in consciousness of who we are, and they are our examples. So as Jesus began to teach, they began to say, I want to have what he has. I really want to have what he has, because he heals the sick, he raises the dead, he casts out demons. Look at the work that he's doing. He feeds the multitudes, all these things that he's doing. I want to do what he's doing. And there was a scribe that came to him, and he said, Lord, I want to follow you wherever you go. I want to do what you do. I want what you have. I will be your follower. I'll give up everything to follow you. He had been seeing all that Jesus was doing. What were the scribes? What were the Pharisees? The scribes and Pharisees were the teachers of the religious laws. They knew the laws of Moses. They knew the religious rites. They knew how to do everything in the rituals of all things. But yet they didn't possess the power of it. They didn't truly understand it. They knew it by the letter and what it said. But you know, the Master Jesus, what he said? He said, you know, the letter killeth. What? The letter killeth. It's the spirit that makes alive. It's the spirit that makes alive. And this week, when I picked up in the Bible and opened it and saw that scribe, that educated man, telling Jesus, after seeing a lot of the works that Jesus did, that he wanted to be like him, he wanted to follow him wheresoever he goes. And Jesus, you know, when he started to leave the planet, he knew that he was coming to the place that he was going to be crucified. He told his disciples, I'm going away, and where I go, you can't go right now. Oh, but we'll follow you anywhere. No, I'm going to go and prepare a place for you. Hold the light for me right now, because I'm going places I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm going to prepare you a place for you, and I'll come back to you. He was going to come back from that state of being on the cross and being crucified and put in a tomb. I'm going to come back, and I'll receive you unto myself. You will be able to go to those places that I am also. Now, what do we as human beings think of? We think of this split place Jesus put in put in the earth, but then he's resurrected. We're looking at heaven, hell is where our minds go to, most of us, I would think. Here's another concept that we picked up from the teachings, the old teachings, that there's only two places to go when you die, heaven or hell. Come to think of it, Jesus didn't talk so much about hell, or he talked about the kingdom of God. He talked about where the kingdom of God was. He taught these things. He taught love. He taught compassion. He taught the divinity within is what he was saying. All that I have, you have also. So this is what he's teaching. And somewhere along the line, our religious structure has taken on a form of, I don't want to say that, of control. So the major control is when the religious orders began, if they could keep you less than a lowly worm, if they could keep you down, they can keep you in fear, they can control you. And this has been going on for eons of time. It's dark and lightness on this planet. It's a place of duality. You're going to grow in duality. You're going to grow in overcoming. You're going to grow in understanding. You're going to grow in light. Humanity is here to grow what? Not the flesh, but to grow the spirit, to let that spirit come out. Tony was directed to a little caterpillar thing yesterday, and I thought, what are we getting this for? But I'm seeing that. I should have brought it today. He's so cute. But you know what's going to happen to the caterpillar? We're going to set him in the garden, that one. But the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. He transforms. He does everything he can do to satisfy his flesh. He'll eat up your garden in a heartbeat. He loves to eat all these leaves and stuff. You know, he doesn't mean to destroy anything, but he's out to satisfy himself. And that's what we're here. We forget the little caterpillar part of us. The outer form, we love to fix it up. And yeah, I know. My roots are showing. I didn't get to the beauty shop. But, you know, all these things, we want to do all these things for ourselves. And we forget about the beauty that's inside so often. The outer distracts us. But this is the game of life. And we need to learn how to play this game of life or work with the duality of things. So the real truth is we're here to grow and expand. And Jesus came with the wisdom and knowledge that came to him through the spirit of the Christ in him. The Christ is the Son of God. I think I've made it clear before, but evidently not. We need to repeat stuff sometime. The Christ is the Son of creation, is the light of the world. The Christ. And that is the life that is in every human being. It's the seed of God in you. It's the seed of God in me. And someone asked this morning, Elizabeth, what is this thing, the scripture? I have someone that says, but you're all wrong if you're going to unity because this, that, and the other, whatever they think we believe, that Jesus, you can't have all these spiritual leaders, because Jesus is the only way. Okay, I've heard that since I was tiny. But in my quiet time, I hear that all that I am, you are also, that Jesus would say. And what he was saying is the I am of me is the I am of you. The Christ of me is the very Christ of you. That's a hard saying. But he said, if you can't believe on me, the Christ of me, you can't be, okay, I'll go with it. You can't be saved. Wow, we take it literal. The letter, we're listening to the letter. The salvation comes in recognizing the divinity in Jesus. Am I making sense? We recognize he came to that full knowledge of who he was. Christ in me. Christ in me is what? The hope of what? The glory. The glory is what? The essence of the divine. Making any sense? The dots coming together? And so Jesus came telling us that. But they kept looking to the man Jesus. They kept looking to the man Jesus. Well, when the scribe came to him and said, I will follow you anywhere, I've heard you have to give up a lot to follow Jesus. I never liked that myself because I think you give up stuff and you're not really giving up anything at all for the king. Seek the kingdom of God and all things will be given to you, but we can't really grasp that in our human mind. So often we can't really get that. But he was telling the man, there was one man said after him, he said, look, he said, I want to follow you, but I've got to go back and bury my daddy. I believe it was his dad died. He said, let me go back and do that, and then I'll come and follow you. And I thought, well, we all have excuses why we won't follow him. But you know, Jesus said, come and follow me. And he's not saying you can't go back and look at something and say goodbye to it. But there's a lot of things you're going to have to change if you truly follow me to the place where I go to the cross, the place that I come to resurrection, the place where I say I overcome all things. There's a lot to be given up. And what you give up is the thought forms of the past. The thought forms of the past, or the way you saw it being. The control of the systems in duality on planet Earth has to do with you living in fear, you living in doubt of yourself, you living in you're not as good as someone else, and regrets. The man's father passed away. If I don't go back and take care of the funeral, I'm going to regret it. If I'm late, I'm going to regret it. Do any of you have regrets of anything? Regret you said something to someone. Regret that you did something. The regret of maybe even this morning making a different choice. Oh, I regret I did that. I hate that I said that. Do you know that is a chain on your whole beingness? Regret is something we need to leave behind. Have no regrets. Why am I saying this? Have no regrets because everything you've done that you felt like you shouldn't, and that triggered something in you that you felt sorry for, it's letting you know you don't want to do that again. You just did it. You open your mouth when you feel like you shouldn't have. You did something when you feel like that was the wrong thing to do. But that overwhelming regret does not need to hold on to you any longer. You need to turn loose of it right now. Third time I'm hearing it. You need to turn loose of it right now, because the thing that you regret was showing you something about yourself, showing you that you can overcome that you regretted doing, showing you that if you regretted doing it, it was something that your soul didn't want to really do, an essence of you that just went through the motions, maybe because a friend was saying, come on, let's do this. There's no harm in doing this. Nobody will ever know it. But if you regret doing it, it shows you that you're better than that. Making sense here? These little things that have been keeping us from finding who we are. Because all those things that have been holding us back are opposite from what Jesus was teaching. Jesus said, you are light, you are love, you are wisdom, you are powerful, you are, a healing energy field. Because you know how I know everything about you? He was saying, because you and I are one. He prayed to the Father, let them know. Let the people know. Give them that knowledge and that wisdom. Let them open their hearts so they will know the truth. That I am one with you, dear God. And you are one with me, and they are one with us. That's what he taught. How powerful we are. He said, everything I do, you can do. Everything you do, I can do. They killed him. He knew they were going to kill him. The rulers of the world will kill you. They want you to be off this planet because darkness wants to rule. Darkness has always wanted to rule. And you are not darkness. You are the light in the darkness. You are the light of the world, just like he is the light of the world. When the ones and the twos come to planet Earth, bringing truth, what always happens? Let somebody break free of a church structure and they've received more enlightenment, they're going to be killed. Go back through the ages. I was talking to a young man this morning that just came in, and he likes history. And you go back and find out anybody that breaks off 9 out of 10, they're going to be destroyed, or their people are going to ruin their reputation. Whatever goes on, they're going to try to wipe you out because darkness has ruled this world. This is my Father's world, we sang last week. Jesus said, be in the world, but not of it. This lower dimension that we're playing our schoolroom or growing in, so much darkness has taken over that beings of light more and more are coming in. And I believe every single one that's here, my voice is a being of light. We all are beings of light. Just got corrected on that. But we don't recognize it. We don't recognize it. We are unfolding into higher consciousness, but we need to go back and get the foundation of what do we believe. And 9 out of 10, your teaching has truth in it, whatever it was. It has truth in it, but it got distorted. You know how the old TVs, sometimes they'd kind of come in and out and static and everything else on it, and you couldn't really get a true picture. I think that's what's been happening in our lifetime. We can't get the true picture of what we are and what the divine is, but we're moving into that place. And so that scribe would have to give up the letter of the law to find the spirit of the law. Then there was another person that came to Jesus. His name was Nicodemus. And Nicodemus was a Pharisee. He was a teacher in the laws, in the religious order. And it's actually said that he came to Jesus by night. Coming to the Christ or the Jesus or the Spirit of truth by night means that we don't have that understanding. We come even when we're in darkness. We're seeking the truth. We're seeking the light. And here's where we are, I'm feeling right now, is we're coming to the place that we want to know truth. And Jesus says you must be born again. You must be born again. Well, we've been taught by words that being born again is coming down to the altar and say, I give my heart to you, Lord. That's what Jesus was asking from people that say, I want to follow you. Will you give your whole beingness? Will you give all the past up? Will you sacrifice all the things that are not true about yourself? Will you sacrifice thinking of yourself is without power? Will you sacrifice feeling that you're not good enough? Will you sacrifice all those hurtful things you think about yourself? Will you sacrifice that? Will you give up your stuff? Will you even sacrifice thinking of anything being yours? Everything on this planet has been given to you on loan, because in this dimension, all things die. In this dimension of duality, all things die. Go hundreds of thousands of years, none of this will be standing. It'll be dust. Things change. But the life of who you are never changes. It expands. The true spirit of who you are expands as you become aware of who you are. You must be born again. Born how? Nicodemus said. Do I go back into my mother's womb? And here's where a lot of people get reincarnation. Yes, I do believe we keep coming back and learning our lessons, coming to the place where our consciousness expands and we understand the Christ of our beingness, who we are, that divine essence. And he's saying you must be born again. Born how? Born of spirit. Here's where we are now, coming into the spiritual essence of who we are, going to the place where we let those five senses, knowing that we have the five senses of the body, but rising up and overcoming all things that the five senses pull us to the outer world. Can we now go into the inner world of the spirit of who we are and live from that space, being in this world, to be the light of the world? There are people you can just be around and you feel peace. You don't know why. You just feel peace. You can be around and they bring joy to you. You can feel joy. You can be with somebody and you just love to talk to them because the energy just flows and so much peace and love and lifts you up. More than likely, they're doing it from a heart space. And they feel like, I'm not sacrificing or giving anything. It's my joy to serve. It's my joy to be. But the flesh, it works at everything. It tries at everything. It does all this. But the time comes when we recognize we're overcoming things, and it's the spirit within. As we trust it, as we trust to let go and to let God. And then more and more of who we are begins to expand. The greatest teacher, I believe, and a friend of mine said, yeah, but there was Buddha, Krishna, all these others. Yes. But I believe Jesus really came to the true place of recognizing his divinity, his oneness with source itself. But I'm not saying that now that's not happening. I believe that's happening. That you are waking up and others are waking up. And it's not going to be about me any longer. When you start touching the hem of God's garment or Jesus' garment or Christ's garment or whatever symbol you use of it, because it's going to be about we the people. Not we the people in North Carolina, not we the people in the United States, but we the people on this planet. And then as that begins to integrate and we know that we are all one, feel something kind of tugging at me saying, go a little further. It will not just be we the people on this planet, but it will be all races in other dimensions, in other worlds. We are multi-level beings. And before most of us leave these physical bodies, there's going to be a big part of the people on this planet that are going to begin to get in touch with other beings, other frequencies. There are beings right here among us right now. We're just not vibrating at their frequencies while we don't see them. I was amazed one time when I was little and I had a pencil and I was doing like this real fast, and all of a sudden I didn't even see. I didn't see it. Take a blade on a propeller on a plane that goes around so fast. After a while, you're really not even seeing the blade. Where's the blade? Where's the blade? You hear the noise, but it's not there. It's gone to a higher frequency than we can see. Am I making sense? There are beings and energies around us. Paul said, you don't fight flesh and blood. We're not against each other because of our colors, because of our creeds, because of our belief systems. What's happening is the lower vibrations of darkness. They control things by division, 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 fear, 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 fear. You'll fall in line like sheep being led to a slaughter because it wants to kill off your spirituality. Do you know the prince of darkness, the beings of darkness, or however you want to say it, the lower energies, they don't have power over you. They can convince you they do, and you give it to them. You give it to them. I give it to them. It controls us. We have to come to that place of recognizing this is the great lie. But there are the frequencies, higher frequencies of love and light and peace that are there calling us up higher, calling us up higher. And that frequency is connected with the heart. Connected with the heart. And any darkness that's out there, well, thank you, or the light that's out there, when it influences us, it gives us those ideas of how to create. So the darkness gives energy of how to create more darkness, division, anger, hate, all these things to divide each other. Hurt the one you love. Hurt the one you love. Because guess what? They've hurt you. Now get back at them. Get back at them. Get back at them. Whew, wow, that's great. They watch the show. They watch the massacres. They watch all that. And they get energy from it. It's their food. It's the food. But angels celebrate the sweetness of what you produce for them. The sweetness of joy and peace and love and kindness. And only you can choose. I can't choose for you. You know you want to choose for others. You want that granddaughter or that grandson or that brother or sister or husband or wife or friend to live the way you want them to live. Walk the path you want them to walk. And you'll argue with them all day long about how they're doing wrong. But let them be the best they can be. The best alcoholic. The best whatever. But Elizabeth, you're not making sense. Yes, someday they'll see, I regret what I'm doing. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. I regret I've wasted my life. But you still have a life in you. You still have light in you. You make the choice. And they may call you on the phone crying, I need your help. Walk me through this. You don't have to be there with them. Your light, your love, your peace can reach out to anyone, even without a phone. How do I change someone? You're not here to change anybody. You're not. We can't change anybody. Only the Christ within can do the work. Only the light within can show a person the darkness that they're walking in and show them the path that they can take steps towards. This is where we're standing in this day and time. So I encourage you to find that light in you and recognize that light and ask, what is it for me to do? I'm not here for any reason. I'm just a nobody. Oh my gosh. If you're here on this planet, there is a reason for you to be here, honey. There is a reason. And this planet needs you right now. Life needs it. The whole world, the manifestation, is crying in pain to be delivered. The earth itself is crying out in pain to be delivered. The people are crying out in pain to be delivered. Delivered from what? The heaviness of guilt and shame and division. They hunger and thirst for spiritual understanding, for spiritual food. And you can be just a person. You think I'm not doing anything, but maybe your smile changes someone. I remember, I'll close with this story. A story of a little boy. He moved into a new town. Seemed like everybody rejected him. He was maybe about 10 or 12 years old. And the kids picked on him and everything. And he decided he was going to go home and he was going to commit suicide. His mother was working and his dad was out of town. And he thought, I can't stay here any longer. Nobody cares for me. And when he got all of his things together and was walking out of the school, another little boy bumped into him. And he figured he did it on purpose. He bent down to get his stuff back into his book bag. And the little boy said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention. He started helping. He said, oh, you've got a new video. He said, I love that video. He said, that's a game I haven't played, but I've always wanted to have it. He said, can you come over to my house? He said, let's play some games or something. He said, you mind? Was it okay? Your mom be okay if you come over to my house? And the little boy thought, yeah, but maybe he's trying to get me in some trouble, but I'm going to kill myself anyway. I'll go with him. When he did, he went home with him and he had the most fun with that young man. His life started changing. He started meeting other kids. I forget what he turned out to be, but something magnificent in his life later down the years. But just one somebody, just one you, whether you know it or not, may change somebody's whole life by bumping into you, or you just looking at them and smiling. Something can touch their heart from your eyes to theirs. But everybody has a purpose here. You were not a mistake. I don't care what your brother or sister tells you, you were never a mistake. You incarnated in this planet to grow and to love and to overcome the fleshly desires or whatever it pulls you away from source. It's not wrong having things. It's not wrong, having good food or whatever you enjoy, but seek ye first the kingdom. The kingdom is within you, and all things begin to come about. So when you feel like you're down and out, whatever it is, there's something I've learned too in life, is if you give something, it comes back to you. So if you feel like you don't have friendship, give friendship to somebody. I want you to start coming back to you. If you don't have love, give love. I'm going to throw this out. Kids are here. Not sex, but love. There is difference between that. We get that mixed up a whole lot, especially back in the 60s. But that slipped out. But to love people, just truly begin to feel it from your heart that you love people. And that love grows and it comes back to you. Even money, if you feel like you don't have enough, like the woman put just the coin, the little coin, when people were dropping lots of money and Jesus saw it, he said she gave the most of everybody because she gave what she had to give. When we put other things first and begin to give, things come back to us. Maybe before I leave this planet, I may write a book on that, because my life, when I'm seeing it now, has been magic. Yeah, it's been a lot of hellfire, brimstone. I felt like I've been in hell before. That's symbologies of it. but I know I walk in heaven the majority of my time. I walk in joy. And I want each and every one of you know how to do that. I want each and every one of you to find that space that you are never without. You're never lacking. I want us to work together. And when one is down, the other can lift the other up. We should never try to pull anybody down or to put them down. We are here to serve each other. And let us find those paths that God puts us in so we can help someone else. I love you, each and every one of you. I bless each and every one of you. And may your joy and your peace just flourish. And what's the name of that next song that you're going to sing for us? That's something we need to know, is God is everywhere. So just listen to her words. God is everywhere present, but is he in the ghettos? Is he in New York? Is he in Washington? I'm saying he, but the divine surely is. The divine is everywhere present. But as we begin to recognize it and ask that it shine its light more fully, those that are in darkness maybe can see their sin. The sin is an archery term, means they're missing the mark. They'll see where they're missing the mark. Maybe they'll begin to feel that regret that they need to release. And so as they release it, they'll step into the light of understanding of what they're here to do, not to divide, but to bring together in oneness. Blessings to all the world, blessings to the universe, love to everyone, peace and joy. You are the ones you've been looking for and waiting for. The divine splendor is in you. And so it is. Elaine, would you please come and sing the truth to us?
What a wonderful talk, wonderful sermon. Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth. And the song is about God being everywhere all the time, including inside each and every one of us. No matter what you feel, no matter how it seems, love is all that's real. The rest is but a dream. Open up your eyes, see the love that's there. Let it fill your life, 'cause God is everywhere. No matter what you feel, no matter how it seems, love is all that's real. The rest is but a dream. Open up your eyes, see the love that's there. Let it fill your life, 'cause God is everywhere. You guys can sing with me this time if you want. It's pretty simple. No matter what you feel, no matter how it seems, love is all that's real. The rest is but a dream. Open up your eyes, see the love that's there. Let it fill your life, 'cause God is everywhere.
God is truly everywhere. So open up your eyes and see that God is in you and allow that spirit to be born within you anew and begin to shine. And will the ushers please come forth? And Kelsey would play something while you're taking up the offering. Let's bless this together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. You'll affirm with me. I give thanks for this visible evidence of the bounty of God. I send it forth with love and joy to do its perfect work. Thank you, God. Now let us sing the peace song. Okay. Would you like to hold hands if we sing the peace song? Okay. And if you want to sit, I'm not telling you have to. You can move back that way some, or we can move over this way. It's not a true circle work, but this is fine. Okay. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let this be a moment now. of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All is well, folks. Love you all. Have a blessed day. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Love you, honey. Love you.